Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Well, a brand new year is upon us, and you can have whatever you want. What do you want? Perfect job, maybe that sports car, maybe the perfect person. Whatever it is, it can be yours because it's been said that whatever you think becomes your reality, also known as manifesting. How do you do this? What's the right way to do it? I'm still studying it. I still read books on it. I've manifested things in my life. I haven't manifested fully, and I'll explain later. But she knows all about this. She's somebody that harnesses the power of energy. She heals through energy, changes lives. She's fantastic. I just want to say it this way. Can I say it? Dr. Love joins us on the program. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Happy New Year, Steve.
Happy New Year. So, yes, manifestation. There are certain ways to do it, and I hear different ways, and I'm always wonder if I'm doing it right, if too much of this, a little less of that. Where do we begin with it?
Okay, so yes, there is a wrong way to do it. There's a right way to do it. First of all, it's your intentions. Mm-hmm. Make sure what you're manifesting is all good. It doesn't cause anybody any harm. And that's when your manifestations will come to light and stay. Because, when you manifest, you can also manifest and it leads, which means it could be temporary if you don't know how to treat it right.
Before we go any deeper, how do you mean treat it right? When it shows up, you mean?
Exactly. Exactly. It's appreciating your presence, appreciating what the universe has gifted you, appreciating your gifts. And it all depends on how large your gift is, how big your present is. If it involves other people, if you promise that, okay, like for instance, we mentioned the lottery the other day. Let's say I say I'm going to win the lottery, and I do. But I made a promise when I do win the lottery, I am going to help certain people with it. And let's say I don't do that.
Well,
exactly. I'm just giving an example. It can go from small to big.
Yep. So I've heard that if you're going to manifest, you need to believe it's already here. It's as if it's happened, as if it showed up, or it's right at your fingertips and you're just kind of pulling it to you. It's here. It's just got to bring it into your universe, your world.
Well, I got a little trick for that. It's more than just saying it's here. You got to put yourself in a state. And that's what I help my clients do. I help you get meditated, get lined up, and help you put into that particular state where you feel it.
Yes. Yeah.
You got to feel it.
You got to
feel it.
Yeah.
Like I feel I'm a millionaire.
Isn't it funny when people say, I feel like $1 million today?
Exactly. But you really got to feel it. You really got to feel it. You got to feel what it feels like. And like a lot of people can't get there. They're like, well, how can I feel what it feels like when I don't got that red Mercedes in the driveway? There's certain ways how to trick your mind, trick your subconscious, and feel it with all your spirit.
Well, okay. For example, by the way, I'm getting that Mercedes next week. Just letting you know. It's going to be, I don't know about red though. I have white. I like white. So I'm going to get another white one. Just saying.
I like white too.
Yeah. It's actually in that particular brand, one of the most popular colors. So let's say you're driving your Hyundai. Nothing wrong with a Hyundai. Actually, my friend has one and I'm like, that's a really nice car, actually. While you're driving that, or let's say you're driving your 15-year-old plus Honda, as you're driving it, you should think, this is my thought. I want to hear your opinion. You're thinking you're in that red Mercedes. You're thinking with the windows down, the air is blowing in. I just smelled the leather of the seats. Brand new leather. I love that smell. I've got music cranking. I got the sunroof open. I'm just feeling the breeze. I just feel so, hey, how you doing? Just wave to somebody. I'm in that car, even though I'm not, but I'm in it. Is that what we're talking about? Like really?
Exactly.
Okay.
And that goes for, it gets more intense. Relationships, manifesting the perfect relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You have to visualize, let's say you want the perfect gal or the perfect guy in your life.
Mm-hmm.
No? How would it feel to go to bed with that person? Watch a movie with that person? Put yourself in that state on enjoyment.
So can I share something?
Sure.
I once did just what you said and manifested. And this crosses the bridge into another territory in terms of what you need to do to manifest. So I did that. Perfect person. I even to the point where one day I was waiting to pick somebody up. Had a lot of time to burn. Just sitting in my car down by the beach. It's going to sound crazy. Just go with me on it. I turn and look to the passenger seat, and I start having a conversation with that person that hasn't shown up yet.
It's not crazy. I do it all the time.
I really did. And I'm talking, about everything. It's a beautiful, night that we're here. It's like, et cetera, et cetera. The person showed up in real life. Everything I could imagine. It's all there. Amazing. Except I didn't manifest everything I wanted. And that person wasn't, shall we say, fully emotionally available. Everything else was there.
Everything else was there.
You have no idea how, just amazing that was. Except this one piece, which is an important piece, which, because of that relationship didn't go long term. But that gets me to the other area here that you need to be specific enough, but maybe not too specific.
You don't got to get that specific when it comes down to a human being, because we are still human beings. But I'm going to tell you, do it again. She could have just been your first manifestation. Do it again, letting the universe know what you can do is real. What you create and what your heart wants, it can happen. Mm-hmm. So that could have been also showing you it works.
It definitely worked. And there's other pieces there that are just amazing, mind-blowing how it all came together. And to your point, maybe not be so specific like red Mercedes. Maybe it's a different color that might show up.
It's true.
Maybe the person, instead of getting fixated on blonde hair and blue eyes, no, just a person with these qualities.
Exactly.
Because you don't know what's best for you. The universe does.
No, we don't. Does. And I'm going to get a little religious on this. Okay. So here, a lot of people they might be turning in. They're like, well, I don't believe in that. I believe in God. Well, let's go back to Jesus. Jesus taught us to manifest.
Tell me.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He taught us. What you claim, what you believe with all of your heart, in my Father's name, it will come to pass. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I have done it in the name of Jesus for medical reasons, for children, specifically children with autism. And I know that's a touchy subject. I know that's a hurtful subject because my child was on the spectrum, okay? And I said, I don't accept this. And I claim it, and I prayed to Jesus, and I manifested her talking. And I kid you not, she could talk your ear off now, Steve. She can talk your ear off.
Wow.
And I've heard from doctors, you need to take her, you need to start doing therapy. And yes, for some people that does work. I just couldn't accept that at the time. I'm like, no, she's not. This is not for her. And I know that's hurtful to say. I know that's a touchy subject. But if you believe it with all of your heart, it will happen. And I know some people's going to say, well, I prayed for my sick mom. She didn't live. I prayed for my sick dad. He didn't live. Not everything is meant. Okay.
Again, it goes back to what we said before. The universe has the plan. We don't. We may think we know what we want, but maybe there are reasons. What are those reasons? I don't know what they are.
Exactly. I mean, I lost people very dear to me. My father died at 40 years old, very young man. So, and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed, but I didn't get mad at God for taking him. I just knew it needed to be done. I had peace with it.
Yeah. I've heard so many stories of people that have manifested in all different areas, like somebody who is a life coach, credible, believe everything from her. She manifested a Tesla, wanted a Tesla, higher end model, and didn't have the money. And 5 months later, she bought that vehicle, at least $50K, way over cash. And somebody else who does the same kind of thing, life coach kind of thing, her husband was somewhat abusive, as she explained it, and he passed away. And while it was sad, it was also a relief for her. She wrote down what she wanted in a new partner, put it under her bed. That new man showed up a week later.
Yes. There's tips for manifestation. If you are good with your pen and you like to write and you like to journal, journaling is very important. You could also use bay leaves. Yes, those. If you want it to work quick, fast, and it's not involving a ton of people, it will work very rapidly.
Bay leaves? Like what's going on?
Yeah. It's a special herb. It's a special leaf. It has magical properties. You write what you want onto the leaf. You light it, let it burn into ashes, and then go blow it like you're blowing out a birthday candle, but return it to the earth, and it'll work.
It's like you're setting it to the universe. You're setting it free, sending it to.
Exactly. Similar to putting the note underneath your pillow, putting it under your bed, wearing it in your shoe. Yeah.
Is there anything that you need to do to manifest what you want? Are we missing anything here?
Well, here's the thing: not everybody can. So not everybody wants to accept that you can do these things. So part of a lot of people I met are very stubborn and blocked off spiritually. So you got to get yourself lined up and you got to get right. And you got to know that you are deserving of it, number one. Because a lot of people's like, well, why would that even happen for me? Why would I get that car? Why would I win the lottery? Nothing ever good happened to me. That is definitely the wrong way to go about it, okay? So you got to get yourself in line first.
And don't come from a place of lack where, which is negative. Like, when's the money going to show up? I don't have enough money. What am I going to do here? That negative thing is just going to derail whatever positive manifestation you've done so far.
I know it's a hard thing to say. I even slip out and say it sometimes. You got to stop saying, I don't have. Don't say I don't have. Know that you're taken care of and you will have everything you need.
Yeah. Yeah. And just what I said in terms of the why I've done it, why hasn't this shown up? Even though
a personal pity party.
But even though I'm using the principles of manifestation and I think I'm doing okay, then it gets to a point you just slip up and you're driving like, when is it going to happen? What? And it's like you catch yourself. And so when that happens, have you set yourself steps back or you just catch yourself?
Yes, you do. Okay, so I don't know if I should share this, but I'm going to share it anyway.
Please, we need help.
I manifested this. I manifested all of this. I kid you not. I think it was about 5 or 6 months ago. I was telling my older child and my partner, I'm going to be on a podcast because Spirit came and delivered me that message. They looked at me and they was like, oh, okay. And then here we are.
Wow. So basically, you got a call. It showed up, so to speak.
Yeah. 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 And they're pretty stunned by it right now. They still can't understand how I did that. And they're like, you manifested that. That happened. I'm like, yeah, I do that all the time. I just don't tell you. Because as your children, I am very special, but I'm going to just say it, your everyday people can't see it. I'm just mom to them, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I have 3 kids. One of them, the oldest one, is cool with all of this kind of metaphysical stuff. The middle one, don't even go there. Like, he'll look at you like he's very logical. Yeah. And then my youngest one, she's cool with it too. And she's actually given me insight to not worth going into the story too long, but I received a sign from my mom that had numbers. And it was from my mom because her name was connected to it, literally, right? There was
I believe you.
There's a password. Showed up. I asked Mom, throw me a sign. There it was. And I couldn't figure out what the numbers were. Of course, I played them in the lottery and still do. Got to manifest. But the numbers weren't jiving together. But they always added up to 711. 711. What's the deal here? And I mentioned it to my daughter. And she goes, maybe it's your dad. That came from my mom. And then I thought about it. And my dad passed when I was very young. I was in my low 20s. So I forget these things. 7/11 was the day he died.
Right.
And the other numbers there add up, there's, to 7. Well, he was born on 3/4. Add it up. So my daughter's cool with it. Then.
Yeah, you have one that's cool with it. I have one, my middle child, she's okay with it. If you could talk to her about it, she's okay with it. She'll believe. My older child, strictly religious, like, that's not right. I'm like, listen, God wants us to be happy. God wants us to have our dreams, our wishes, as long as they're good ones.
Yes. There's a key point right there. There's a key point. You set the intention for the manifestation, but the intention needs to be a good one.
Yes.
So, like, if you're saying, I'm going to get a lot of money and I'm going to take care of them. Yeah. No, that's bad intention. Doesn't work.
No, because maybe you're not supposed to.
Right. And why would you want to? Why would you want to do negative things with something positive that came your way?
Exactly. And then here's another thing, like, I'll give you one example. Let's say, I'm going to just go hypothetically. Let's say a woman is in love with a man that is married, and she starts manifesting to break up his marriage. That's not good. That's not good. Okay, let's say you get him, and then let's see how good he's going to treat you if he walked out of his marriage after 30 years.
Right.
I'm just giving an example.
Yeah. And especially, walked out of it and there was negativity unknown to him surrounding it because the woman manifested him leaving.
Exactly. That is not a good manifestation.
That's like dirty. That's like bad energy for me.
Exactly. And you don't know how many people don't understand the tools of manifestation. Your intentions have to be pure for the most part and not trying to cause any harm or destruction in someone else's life.
I appreciate you today bringing this up because I have new excitement for manifestation.
Oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
That makes sense. Like I was doing it. I think I was doing a good job, and then I kind of took my foot off the manifestation gas, the pedal. I'm like, and I have books on it, and I haven't continued reading them, and I need to get back to them.
Yeah, for sure. And here's another tip. Manifest just for yourself. I know that we always like to include our loved ones and our family, but it happens quicker because you're not involving everybody.
Well, what about, like you said, manifesting something for, let's say, your kid, like your daughter?
That's different.
Okay.
That's different. That's different. That's I look at it as not a prayer and manifestation all at the same time. Highly believing that your higher source, God or whoever you believe in, is going to make it happen for you. Because it is involving healing. And as a parent, we do have special abilities, authority over our children. We do. Why did God give them to us?
Yeah. Super parents.
We got to try.
Yeah. I feel that, even in my, example, I believe things are coming my way or good things are going to happen for others around me because I just want the best for everybody. I feel it and believe it. I really do. Not even kidding. Like, there's certain things that are floating out there in my world. Like, that's happening. That is going to happen. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But I feel I haven't pushed to the next step of really believing it. I believe it, but really believing it. And that's where I think I'm falling short.
You gotta believe it, Stephen. You can't. It goes deep. You can't surround yourself by negative people either, because they'll bring you down. They'll knock you out of your manifestations. So there's a lot in that too. So we try our best to surround ourselves with decent people.
Well, they've always said you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So think about those people that you're with all the time. We have, speaking of time, a few minutes left. Let's pivot over to your energy. Now, this is where everything we're talking about here, everything we've ever talked about here is all about energy. Let's say you're feeling depleted. You're just, you're low on energy. You feel like your energy's been zapped, pulled away from you. We've talked about energy vampires before. People that, you could just be in a room and they see what you got and then they start taking your energy away from you. I know this is getting woo-woo, but it happens.
No, it's okay. It happens. I have to say it. Here's the thing. And I didn't believe in this before. Yeah, I didn't believe in this. I did not believe in this before until it started happening to me a little too much. Okay. I did not believe that somebody could steal your energy or try to steal your energy. I'm like, what I have, God gave me, nobody could take from me. That's true. But they could corrupt it by putting their energy and it mixes with yours. So a lot of the times you're not being depleted of your energy, but their energy grabbed onto you and it mixed and made the water dirty.
Yes.
So all that, you're feeling them. You're feeling them. You're like, oh, I feel sluggish and I feel tired. You're feeling them. No, it's not just you.
Wow.
You're carrying somebody else's energy. Because I never used to believe in it until it started happening.
You know, as I think about that, being around people that are negative or just having challenges, and we all have challenges, but if you're directly connected to them and their challenges, and let's say it's a regular basis, you talk to them, yeah, this is happening, yeah, it's happening. I know it's negative, but I don't think we realize what's really going on in terms of their energy, like just weighing you down.
See, people can carry demonic spirits. I tried explaining this yesterday, and they could even float around in a sacred place like church. It can happen. And if you really get really religious, you'll hear about different entities. They have different names, even the Jezebel spirit. I mean, they exist, and the Christian community does recognize them.
Wow.
They do.
Okay, so
They may not recognize what we're talking about because they'll say that doesn't exist. Or they don't believe in energy.
Right.
They don't. They'll be like, no. Well, if you believe in a Jezebel spirit.
It's almost hypocritical in a way.
Yes.
Let's say in 30 seconds, here we go. 30 seconds or less. You feel that you're being pulled down from somebody's energy or it's mixing with yours. Your good energy is mixing with their bad energy. What do you do?
I stay away from them. I notice that it was them. I know it's hard. And if you can't break away from this person because it's a cousin or a family member, you got to start putting boundaries. You have to start protecting your energy before you go around them and leave in your house.
Yeesh. Wow. Well, how do you do that?
There are certain ways, and I teach that. That's where everybody has to call and pay me because I'm going to teach them to do that.
Well, again, it's now we're talking about a family member. Now you're directly connected to them. That's a problem.
Yes, it is, but you can fix it.
Okay. All right. Well,
you can fix it.
You're the queen of the spells.
Yeah.
And
charm the situation.
We've talked about that before, the different types of spells that you can do, and you given some examples of how they work. How do we find you? How do we connect with you?
drlovejennifer.com. So it's drlovejennifer.com.
And when you go to the website, a lot of insight, but also the call button is, I'm going to say it because it's there. It's your cell. You are directly connectable. You're easy access. You're there. It's not like, being screened by a bunch of people. How do I know? Because I texted you before.
Text me. The client can text, call, schedule. Okay, I'm the one that answers.
Yep, exactly. Thank you so much for today. I have new excitement toward manifestation. I really do.
Thanks, and Happy New Year, Steve. And
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's to everybody. Big blessings are coming in 25.
Good things ahead. Just believe it. Just believe it.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk soon, okay?
Okay,
thanks.
bye.
We'll be right back. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes two. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.